Welcome to the bold analysis. Ladies and gentlemen, there is something happening in this country, and I know many have been creating reaction about it. And we once analyzed that religion is an opium of the people. And over time, apart from it being used for boosting of legitimacy, it's also a cover-up, and it is a platform for vote mobilization because many are gullible. And so when there is always that presence of the politician, religion is successfully used on that front. In the run-up to the last general election, I think we took a very strong stand that the residence of deputy president then was being used for political reasons, even though by then the current president, now who was by then deputy president, launched his politics anchored on a very strong tie or rather relationship with the church. And in fact, things were so much into extreme that even some men of the cloth were allegedly facilitated so that they can preach the UDA politics in the pulpit. That worked, and some may even doubt that was it such of a cultic following. Now, in government, the president has just changed the venues, but there are political events that are called prayer, interdenominational prayer rallies. And someone asked, why interdenominational? Where in Laikipia recently, we saw that churches were mobilized from different so that they can come meet the president and pray together and allegedly pray for the country. Today in Bomet, that was also witnessed. And it has been one of the strategies that is being used to play politics. And I can tell Kalonzo Musyoka, if you're waiting for Firimbi, that someone will tell you to start campaigning, then I'm telling you, you are late. You are late. President is already campaigning. I want you to take keen interest on one single Sunday. And just like, for me, this one I didn't follow, but like keep it when I followed. You'll get shocking revelations about what happens in those events. Number one, half of the service is what is Christian-based, in the sense that, in fact, politicians have really got a way of soothing their ego. The ego of the men, the clergy, making sure that they sit in the pulpit, then politicians sit on this side with the rest of the public. But when they talk, then they move to the pulpit. This is a tragedy that has befell this country, that religion will successfully be used against you. But what really shocking is that it has the potential of giving Kenyans accountability. It has the potential, but sadly enough, that's not it. I have seen a very ridiculous approach in Laikipia. I watched in Laikipia that wakati wa sadaka, kuna sadaka yenye president anatoa, and anapewa basket, anatoa sadaka on behalf of the country. The governor is also given another special one, anatoa sadaka on behalf of his county. and county government leaders. I think MPs are also giving on behalf of their constituencies, and MCS giving on behalf of their wards. And okay, I looked at it, I was like, okay, was it a fundraising or not? But I don't want to go more into that. But that tells you on how it's a very give and take relationship. But the tragedy here is that government policies, the administration have already perfected the strategy of using the religion pulpit to do their politics, and not just politics, but for policies messaging. The remix of Bible verses and government policies is not a very sweet remix for you. I want to tell you why this is not the way it should go. Apart from it being used as a campaign tool, which I honestly don't think it's a big problem, because everyone wants crowd. And apart from that, you also, when you go to church, you also meet other people. You also meet other people that maybe you don't meet in the TV television screens, and you don't meet in the high-end events here in Nairobi. When you go there, you try to bridge the gap between the politician and actually the people. I am telling you, even the sanctity of the church is at stake, because when the politician is there, look at the kind of messaging they do. Messaging to that only politicians consume. I'm like, when president is there, even the church guys are already intimidated. They're like, what are we going to preach, or what, and so they must tailor-made the message to the political class. I have seen these events being mobilized, and I can tell you they are state functions. So every Sunday we have state functions funded, tents, pastors facilitated, because when you're being told to bring together, we must be facilitated, sound and everything, and and then after the first service, in fact, recently a good man was telling me from Mount Kenya that a committee is formed between the church team and the rest. And what people are supposed to do is, unapimiwa time. You will do like 2 hours, then after that, tufanya hii, then partition. And let me tell you, between the time politicians will take to campaign and the time the service will take, hey, compare. The service, you are told service should not go beyond like 2 hours. Then after that, politicians will run the program until 3. And then when they leave, everyone leaves. So the program ends there. And they run it for like hours. This is a very big tragedy to us in this country, because the remix of religion used for government policies, it's idolatry. It idolizes the presidency. Because these people can't ask questions, by the way. Church leaders can't ask the president, this is this way, this is this way. But uko, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. And when the president comes, they come there with begging bowls. The clergy and governors, wakona hiyo tabia sana, come there with begging bowls. Today in Bomet, some church elder wanted tax waiver. I think they're building a project. I think it's a church project or some project there. And the investor or the person, because it's money that they're getting funding from some guys abroad, from some donors abroad, they wanted some tax waiver. And they were asking for that tax waiver then. The president said no. It's that platform is going to whip the nation not to ask questions. And I once said that many of the clergy should actually ask questions on behalf of Kenyans. Yes. They should ask questions. President cannot be in media every day. And the politicians cannot be in media every day. In fact, media have to book appointments and process and even to get these interviews. But because each and every Sunday, the executive will be somewhere in some choreographed church function, these people should ask the president what it is. And I'm telling you, their campaign platforms. And the tragedy with it is that because people have already known, politicians are very shrewd. It's a very shrewd space. They've already known that the clergy or the church leaders are already looking for some little favors here and there. So when they are whipped by some few donations here and there, they listen, they get quick gains, I want to call them quick excitements. And these quick excitements, even if the politician or the president leaves, the next day, the service is about president, and idolizing the president. In fact, some guys said that religion is used for legitimacy. Because in church, everyone is holier than thou. Politician goes there, within the first 2 hours, is very humble, generous, and is listening to everything. The next minute is spewing venom against anyone. A very wrong argument. Someone told me, Kevin, if they are really church services, then hey, why don't you why are they bringing interdenominations together? Why don't someone just choose, I'm going to pray there, then just go to pray, then come back, if you mean it. And if so, the spouses are very key pillars in the religion world. Why are they not going with them? It's because they are political rallies. And before we know, the country will lose judgment because it's a platform that has been used to show equality. We are equal. Amakuja karibu na sisi, we are equal. You can't ask questions. The word is clear. The president is campaigning for 2027. Nyanza, the entry cannot be church. So Thanksgiving event by Owalo and some affordable housing, development projects, that's the advantage we people in Nyanza we have. The other regions where churches are entry points, like in Mombasa, church cannot be an entry point because it's a highly Muslim place. It's a highly Muslim county. So it cannot be. But in the Rift, in central Kenya, it's becoming more of it. But then on other regions, we realize that every entry point, every podium that the politicians, and the president and the deputy are, they're talking politics. In fact, not even policies. Apart from what government is doing, what government is getting right, they also throw venoms and try to make political connections. Today, what was the highlight of Bomet, apart from president bashing the Kericho MCS, which I also believe they've really gone overboard. The highlight of the event was about Rigathi talking about Chebukati at Bomas, and then Nick Salat crossing over from Kano to UDA. The church should be fair to the Kenyan people. Play a critical role. Don't be a launchpad of the next election. Just like I've seen many asking, ask questions and put government on check. That's my take.